Well, yesterday we were on this actual set talking about at 12 o'clock yesterday at noon, there were going to be kids walking out of their classrooms.
100 schools.
Yeah, this was all the public schools in New York City. Mainly the high school students were walking out and protest of what's happening. It's called Shut It Down for Palestine rally. So they're pro-Palestinians, and you can see the signs. Free Palestine, stop this genocide. They were shouting out something about Joe Biden, how it's a genocide. And Brian Brimberg went there. We talked to him earlier, and he told us a little bit about what he saw there. Listen to this. Oh, this was him talking to some of the protesters.
The amount of tragedy that Palestine is facing, and that is because of the Israeli government and because of our tax dollars, I think it's really scary, and I don't like it.
Do you think it's possible for Hamas to free the hostages who are in Gaza right now?
They've tried.
So Hamas has tried to free the hostages.
Has said, we do not want the hostages.
You're calling the Hamas terrorists. Some would call them terrorists. You're calling them freedom fighters.
Great.
And see, this is the guy that was approved to speak. When you go to these rallies, they surround you. They know exactly who you are. They have little TikTok videos. They have all these group chats of all the reporters that aren't friendly to Hamas.
So they're fans of ours?
They're not fans of us. We're the enemy to them, you know, because we don't like Hamas. They like Hamas. And so then when you get to these protests, they surround you and they go, this is a member of the press. They don't allow the kids unless they give them the opportunity to speak. And that's what happened yesterday. Brian Brimberg says that they stormed the New York Times. They had spray paint. And that 75% of the crowd there had these face masks because they don't want the world to see who they are.
They walked into the New York Times, they occupied their lobby, and they were passing out mock newspapers that said New York war crimes instead of New York Times. There was a police cruiser outside. They bashed in the window. They were spray painting cars with graffiti or different areas with graffiti too.
Yeah. So you know what's amazing is that what one of these people cared about the Palestinian situation before October 7th? Where were the pro-Palestinian right? You never even heard of it. You have people protesting for or rallying for Armenia. But up until October 7th, the massacre against the Israelis, they had no mission. What's going on here?
You are correct about that, Brian. But when you look at the way they're teaching history inside New York City high schools and in universities, they were prepped for this moment. In the oppressor-oppressed continuum, in their view of the Middle East, in their anti-Western, anti-American, anti-Israel classrooms, October 7th, regardless of who perpetrated it, lit a match on a worldview that they already have. And now they're willing to just embrace intifada, revolution from the river to the sea. Some of these foolish kids may not know what that means, but most of them know precisely what.
To Pete's point, on the universities, before this terror attack even happened, Hamas and all of their allies were taught on college campus to be freedom fighters. They weren't taught as terrorists. So now that the conflict has happened, many of the message when I talk with these, they feel like the attack was justified because of the conflict before.
The United States government has deemed Hamas a terrorist organization. We can see what they did to the people in Israel. So when you hear that man out on the streets saying they're freedom fighters, why? For putting a baby in an oven and burning the baby to death? Why? Because they chopped off the little girl's foot and her brother's fingers while they were eating breakfast with their parents, gouged out the dad's eyes and cut off the woman's breasts, and then killed them all after they had been through that gruesome attack. Why would that be a freedom fighter? That's not the definition of a freedom fighter. Benjamin Netanyahu was on with Brett Beer yesterday and was asked about these pro-Palestinian marches and what's happening in our universities, and Rashida Tlaib posting that video from the river to the sea, and he explained what that means to the Jewish state. Listen.
From the river to the sea means there's no Israel. From the Jordan River to the Mediterranean, which is a tiny area, by the way, that encompasses Israel, there is no Israel. And so what this Congresswoman is calling for is policide and genocide, the elimination of the Jewish state, the one and only Jewish state of the Jewish people. So that's absurd, and I salute the Congress for censoring her.
So he had a long interview with Brett yesterday after ABC 2 days before. He also talked about the pause. Didn't even say there's going to be one. Hostages approach, but they're going to forge ahead. They have to get rid of Hamas. This can't be retaliation. It has to be elimination. He knows the American system. He knows what he knows that she knows exactly what she's doing. Probably what's most disturbing is he probably wouldn't recognize Fifth Avenue with that rally yesterday at 4. He probably wouldn't have recognized Los Angeles as you had American Jews fighting pro-Hamas people out in California. Meanwhile, he is over there probably the Palestinians have to be just elated. Iranians have to be elated. Look at what we have done inside America with the next generation.
And that's part of their strategy, Hamas's strategy, is to draw this out as long as they can, counting on international condemnation, pressure inside America against this White House, so they don't get utterly eradicated, which is exactly what should happen to them in Gaza. But it didn't have to be this way, guys. It didn't. I mean, look at what happened in Afghanistan. Look at what happened, the war that was started in Ukraine. Look at what Hamas did in Gaza. They just so happened to happen in the last 2.5 years. That doesn't happen in a vacuum.
Are you shocked when you see the amount of people that show up for these protests, that Rashida Tlaib actually wins elections? I'm surprised that
that's her constituency. In that area, I'm not surprised that they share the viewpoint of hers. But it goes to the point that Pete was making, though, about it didn't have to be this way. When you look at the polling, Americans said that they felt safer under Donald Trump, that they don't like the way Joe Biden is handling the conflict. Donald Trump was asked to respond to that about the current conflict, and he said it wouldn't have happened under his watch.
With me. If I were president, if we had the Trump administration, impossible to happen. We were actually getting along well with Iran. We would have had a deal with Iran. And they didn't have the funds to do what they're doing now. Now they have a lot of funds, not the $6 billion. You know, they gave 5 hostages and 5 hostages. That sounds good. But they also gave access to $6 billion. That's a lot. But that's peanuts compared to the oil money, because we made it so.
And then they freeze those funds.
So that was his sit down with Univision. It made sense because he wants the Hispanic vote. He said some nice things about Hispanics. He really loves Hispanics. So the president said that. And he talked about how good he got along with the Mexican president and how they use that relationship to help crack down on the Mexican southern border, which actually alleviated pressure on our northern border. And this Mexican president is also basically haranguing President Biden and Governor DeSantis.
Openly.
Yeah, openly. Even though Donald Trump was the first to bring up, we will use special forces to take out cartel members.
You're missing it. It all goes back to the taco bowl at Trump Tower. That's where it started.
You got the best.
Yeah,
They're the best. They're the best over there.